Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I got Leonidas on here. XRP settlement solution generated $2 million per week in revenue for MGI. This is when MoneyGram was utilizing RippleNet, and so apparently there were some Bitcoin maximalists who took advantage to claim that MoneyGram never actually used XRP. This article is from Leonidas' site, XRP Arcade, so you guys can read the details if you want to get up to speed on this particular piece of news. I'm going to go down here. These guys signed on with Ripple in 2019 and utilized them for the better part of 2 years or 1.5 years, give or take. Even though ODL volumes continued to grow in June 2020, Ripple made a U-turn, reducing the emphasis from large treasury payments, which were traditionally used to fund businesses and services in the absence of real-time transfers, to support individual low-value transactions, addressing the growing need in remittances and SME payments. According to Ripple, this could and did reduce overall ODL transaction volumes. And then a few months later, the SEC lawsuit followed, and that is when MoneyGram finally dissolved their partnership with Ripple. But here's the $2 million per week in revenue. However, it's the LinkedIn profile of a former MoneyGram employee that sheds light and brings new information regarding MoneyGram's use of XRP. Yale Vinson, MoneyGram's former head of innovation from February 2018 to February 2021, states that he built a settlement solution using Ripple XRP, generating an average of $2 million per week in revenue. So down here, Leonidas does link his LinkedIn profile, or a screen grab of that. It's kind of hard to read. Nevertheless, this puts any doubts of whether MoneyGram actually used XRP or not to rest. Today, MoneyGram is not using RippleNet or XRP after both companies decided to wind down their partnership agreement. However, the companies committed to revisiting their partnership in the future. And so just to the point of putting these BTC maxis in their place, first and foremost. But secondly, Yale Vinson would likely not have put this on his LinkedIn unless it was a point that he wanted to emphasize and kind of brag about in a way. Look, we were generating $2 million per week through using RippleNet and the XRP solution. And so for anybody who had any doubts if MoneyGram was actually using XRP or not, I think that, as Leonidas states, this puts that argument to bed. So I wanted to thank LeOHAJILOIZOU on Twitter and the XRP Arcade for pointing us to that. I'm going to keep going, guys. XRP Ledger Foundation posted this on Twitter. The XRP Ledger Foundation is happy to announce that we have published a unique node list, a UNL, for the XRPL, and they give the address there. There are some differences between our UNL and other widely used UNLs. We have added 2 long-standing members of the ecosystem to our UNL. And these long-standing members are GateHub and TOA Labs. We have also removed 1 validator as per the public announcement they made about not running a validator with effect from May 24th, 2021. With these modifications, we have a total of 39 validators in our UNL, and we'll continue to expand the list to include more validators. Going forward, we hope that the ecosystem uses the UNL alongside other providers. We will publish a set of guidelines for inclusion in our UNL in the near future, such as domain being set in the manifest, a TOML file that has clear information about the operator and contact information. So more updates here from the XRP Ledger Foundation. Just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Ripple partner news here from TEHOLBEDDICTXRP. Ripple partner RationalRX, aka ExtendPay, and Railsbank have an update to share. So of course, these are 2 Ripple partners, and this from Finextra. Railsbank, the leading global banking as a service platform, has announced a collaboration with RationalFX, a major UK payments and foreign exchange provider, as the latter strengthens its product offering in Europe. Railsbank now provides ledger and payment services that enable RationalFX's customers to better control liquidity and have enhanced visibility over their funds. RationalFX continues to focus on building customer-focused products with market-leading support and built-in automation. RationalFX, headquartered in London, serves thousands of businesses, individuals, and financial institutions, and are able to transfer users' funds in over 50 currencies worldwide. The firm's deep market expertise helps clients take advantage of competitive exchange rates and navigate the constantly changing payments landscape. The Rational Group continues to win significant business in continental Europe, adding new customer accounts at nearly 17% year over year. So 2 Ripple-enabled customers working together to create more synergy and ultimately, indirectly, creating more value around the XRPL and ultimately the XRP token. Notice they mentioned down here for their customers to have better controlled liquidity and have enhanced visibility over their funds. Well, it'd be very difficult to do that with the old financial system. So it sounds to me like these clients are utilizing the XRPL, utilizing XRP for that liquidity, and overall giving their customers a better experience. So I wanted to thank TEHOLBEDDICT here, TEHOLBEDDICTXRP here for posting that. Here's one from the Cryptic Poet, guys. Ripple partner Federal Bank ties up with Masrek Bank to offer cost-effective instant money transfers. So Kerala-headquartered Federal Bank has entered into a strategic tie-up with UAE-based Masrek Bank to facilitate money transfers from the UAE to India. The partnership will support Masrek's faster payment product, Quick Remit, which was launched in 2017. And the Cryptic Poet points to this as well. Lulu Exchange and Federal Bank enhance cross-border payment experience into India with RippleNet. This originally published back in February of 2021, so February of just this year. We know these guys are a Ripple client, and now they are partnering up with Masrek Bank. I don't know if they are a Ripple client yet. We know that Ripple definitely has penetrated the Middle East with their technology as well, but Federal Bank has been confirmed, so I wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for pointing that out. Guys, again, if I'm going over these too fast, I do link everything in the description, so for those of you guys who want to read further, if you're interested in these partnerships with these Ripple clients, you can read further and see for yourself how deep these ties go, and ultimately how, the world is changing on the surface. Understanding Ripple technology and realizing how it is transforming payments across the globe. I mean, we are seeing it. We are reading about these partnerships. Nowhere here are they mentioning RippleNet, but because we do our research, we realize these are Ripple clients. And when you hear those buzz terms, right, like allowing for more liquidity and making things more efficient and settling instantly, stuff like that gets me really excited. Just points to the fact that this landscape is changing around the world. Even if we are not seeing it right now in the United States, it is changing around the world. It is having an influence. And just knowing that these banks are running on Ripple makes me very, very happy and very optimistic for XRP price down the road. And Flare Validators, FTSO.EU, join XRPL Labs, Ripple CTO in support of amendments to XRP Ledger. So we heard Vin and David Schwartz talk about this. So FTSO.EU is one of the first validation services or oracles that will confirm Flare FLR transactions, a much anticipated XRPL utility fork. It supported the proposal to lower the minimum reserves required to perform such actions on the XRP Ledger. So according to the latest Twitter thread by FTSO.EU, its validators will support the proposal to lower barriers for XRPL accounts. Today, an XRPL account needs to store at least 25 XRP as the account reserve. I actually do believe it's 20 and not 25. Anyway, they have just tweeted this out. Minor improvements to the validator registry is now also possible to view all the amendments voted on by your trusted validators. Up here, as you can see at the number 47, we voted supporting Joel Katz, Vin, and Ally Networks to lower XRP wallet activation to 10 XRP and trust lines to 2 XRP. It has been voted on, and it looks like they are going through with it. So I just wanted to update you guys on that real quick. We've also got this from Michael at Val5 Links. Swiss multinational investment bank and financial services company UBS Group is reportedly exploring multiple ways to bring crypto investments to its rich clients. So yet another banking organization that wants to bring cryptocurrency trading to, its wealthy clients, obviously. Who else is trading? I mean, the cryptocurrency market started with just a bunch of geeks and then people who saw potential to make money off of Bitcoin rallies. But now it's getting mainstream, guys. One of the core aims of UBS Chief Executive Officer Ralph Hamers, who replaced Sergio Ermotti, is to cut operational costs while digitizing banks' operations and product offerings. Swiss multinational investment bank and financial services company is reportedly exploring multiple ways to bring crypto investments to its rich clients. As per the report, first revealed by Bloomberg, citing sources familiar with the matter, any of the investment alternatives the bank is going to settle for will only take a very small portion of the client's total wealth holdings due to extreme volatility of the asset class. With the growing digital currency ecosystem over the years, a lot of mainstream investment banks and financial institutions are beginning to explore ways to get into the game. We heard about Goldman Sachs earlier this month, and they just launched a Bitcoin derivatives product for some customers. We also heard about JP Morgan Chase jumping into the game. So, the narrative is very, very different today than it was a couple of years ago. I just watched a documentary about Bitcoin last night, and, I thought I'd be able to get some more out of it. I feel like every Bitcoin documentary you watch, they're really trying to educate the masses, and they give the history of Bitcoin and what it's good for, and there's all these Bitcoin maximalists talking about the ideology and down with the banks, and I feel like Yeah. It's all the same stuff. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. This whole idea of JP Morgan Chase, and they did play that clip of Jamie Dimon, I believe it was on Bloomberg News, basically saying Bitcoin's a scam. And I was watching it with my wife, and I told her, I go, yeah, and he made a complete 180 on that. JP Morgan is now getting into the Bitcoin game, and she was actually quite surprised about that. But yeah, that's just par for the course, right? These guys changed their tune very quickly, and so we are going to see more banks like this jump on board. Just as a side note here, UBS is indeed one of these banks that is supporting Ripple. So this article is from back earlier this year, banks that are currently using Ripple XRP technology. And if I just scroll down here, guys, I'll show you corporate giants like Accenture, Deloitte, Santander, UBS, UniCredit, etc. are also supporting Ripple. So this is just a list of a bunch of different banks that are either supporting Ripple or have done tests or actually running on RippleNet. Of course, we know that there are many central banks already doing so. But yeah, more cryptocurrency trading, getting the rich into the game. UBS obviously not taking that big of a risk with their rich clients' investments yet, because the market is hot right now. Nobody wants to buy at the top, especially not wealthy people. Anyway, I wanted to thank Michael at Val5Links for posting that. And guys, I also wanted to bring this to your attention from PRX here on Twitter. Basel III effective June 2021. Now, we've been following the Basel III story for a couple of years now. I did a video about it a few years ago. I'll link that video up here in the top right-hand corner of this video. It is a little outdated, but I think it covers a lot of what Basel III is. I'm going to go over it a little bit here. So just to give you guys a sense of what this is and how this potentially relates to XRP. So Basel III rules move physical gold from being considered a tier 3 asset to being considered tier 1, which allows physical gold in bullion form to be counted at 100% value for reserve purposes. And beginning in June of 2021, Basel III rules will require banks to hold unencumbered physical gold valued at 100%. Now, we already know that a new financial system is currently in the works, and it is already working in some places around the world, like Southeast Asia, a big region of the world that is already running on blockchain DLT and leveraging cryptocurrency, essentially, to transfer value. Well, the Basel III rules, they're supposedly coming into effect in June of 2021. Let me read you guys this. Previously, banks could hold gold on their balance sheets in the form of unallocated paper gold contracts without actually holding physical gold in tangible form. So this is coming from the United States Gold Bureau. These paper contracts were considered as good as gold when it came down to determining how much capital a bank needed to maintain on its balance sheet. Under the old rules, there was little incentive to hold physical gold as it was only valued at 50% of reserve purposes. Basel III rules move physical gold from being considered a tier 3 asset to being considered tier 1, which I had read you in that last screen grab, which also physical gold in bullion form to be counted at 100% value for reserve purposes. Gold in unallocated paper contracts will no longer be considered an equal asset. For this reason, guys, banks using paper forms of gold to help meet reserve requirements will have to convert those positions to physical metal or risk becoming two, and it gets cut off there. All right, I'm not going to leave you hanging, so I went to the United States Gold Bureau website and brought up this article myself so that it is more than just a screen grab. And when you go down here, I'll finish the sentence. Requirements will have to convert those positions to physical metal or risk becoming too undercapitalized to continue to function. So that's what the last sentence said. Guys, and if I scroll down here, I want to mention this as well since I'm on this page already. Currently, there is an imbalance between the amount of unallocated gold included in paper contracts and the physical gold available to honor those contracts traded on the COMEX or LBMA bullion exchanges. The unallocated gold is sometimes estimated to exist at a 100-to-1 ratio to physical gold available for delivery. If I go back up here, guys, contracts traded on the COMEX or LBMA bullion exchanges. Do you guys remember having this discussion about the COMEX rule? COMEX, for you guys who do not know, is a futures and options market to trade commodities such as silvers, gold, aluminum, and copper. COMEX was previously known as the Commodity Exchange, etc. But what about the COMEX rule? Yeah, the COMEX rule 589. The phoenix will rebirth from the ashes of the markets. You guys can read more about this in this article. I will leave this in the description of the video. But basically, when there's no bid, when all the weak hands have sold their physical silver, no one else will want to sell any ounce of silver. In this case, auctions will rise, and this rise could be extremely brutal. The COMEX Rule 589, published in December of 2014, provided for this scenario. If the bidding on the silver goes up by $3 without anyone agreeing to sell at this price, the market pauses for 2 minutes. Then the auction resumes. So in this case, they're giving the example of silver. In 10 or 12 minutes, the price can go up to $12. As the daily increase limit is reached, the market will be closed until the following day without any fixing. I don't know if I have to bring up who mentioned 589 back in 2018. Many in the XRP community were hoping that this was going to be the price of XRP by the end of the year 2018. After further exploration, though, we have come to realize that 589, more than just a price, some people were attributing it to the COMEX rule. COMEX exchanges obviously deal in precious metals, and the Basel III implementation, talking about gold in this particular case. So I just wanted to sum that up before I move on. The Basel III rules are coming into effect, and the United States Gold Bureau knows about this. June of 2021, around the time that maybe we could hear about a settlement in the SEC lawsuit with regards to Ripple and XRP. Well, Jeannie down here brings this up as well. Do you remember when David Schwartz mentioned this in 2017? Let me read you this up here first. It is possible to make a payment with gold on the Ripple network. Over the last 3 years, whilst developing the technology, Ripple secured the same asset custodian for gold that is now working with the Canadian Mint, and a company called Gold Bullion International are already issuing balances on the Ripple ledger. There are also custody assets for Merrill Lynch. David Schwartz down here in a Quora forum said XRP is an asset that can be used for settlement. It's kind of like gold that can instantly teleport around the world. It does actually move value, and there's nothing to settle afterwards. So to reiterate, XRP, that mechanism to move value from point A to point B, whether it's gold or silver or anything, really, cryptocurrency, fiat to fiat, we've gone through this. But the point that these articles are making here is that it is possible to transfer gold on the Ripple network. To the left over here, you guys can see that Gold Bullion International have been testing RippleNet and utilizing XRP. This was activated back in 2014, and so they already have an XRP wallet. I think that this just goes to show you that they are serious about this. Again, these trials were from years ago. We don't know what the update is today. Nevertheless, with the Basel III standard coming down the pipe in June of this year, it's probably not a bad thing that they trialed early on. Now, Zach down here also posted this, guys, from the BIS. January 1st, 2023, they extended the date. And so I just wanted to bring up this article real quick. The Basel Committee's oversight body, the group of central bank governors and heads of supervision, has endorsed a set of measures to provide additional operational capacity for banks and supervisors to respond to the immediate financial stability priorities resulting from the impact of the beer flu pandemic. It is important that banks and supervisors are able to commit their full resources to respond to this. If I go down here, the measures endorsed by the GHOS comprise the following changes to the implementation timeline of the outstanding Basel III standards. All right, so the timeline down here, the implementation date of Basel III standards finalized in December of 2017 has been deferred by 1 year to January of 2023. The accompanying transitional arrangements for the output floor has also been extended by 1 year to January 1st of 2028. Now that sounds like it's a ways away, right? But may I point out here, guys, that this press release was from March 27th of 2020. In March of 2020, they were suggesting that this would be happening in January of 2023. And to Zach's point here, they extended the timeline. But take a look at this, guys. If I go back up here, the Basel III implementation beginning in June of 2021, yet this article down here was from March 2nd of 2021. So a more recent article suggesting that this might actually happen sooner than what was reported back in March of 2020. Now, this could be that it is starting in 2021 and will take a few years to implement, but it seems to me, guys, like it's right on the doorstep. Of course, the US government does realize Basel III implementation is on their doorstep. We also have companies like Gold Bullion International already set up for this, have been testing RippleNet since 2014. And it's stated right up here, it is possible to make a payment with gold on the Ripple network. So will we see Ripple settle with the SEC by June of 2021? And could Basel III implementation in the United States begin at that time? That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.